In today's video, we're exposing 11 key indicators that could hint at a complex relationship history. Stay with us, because what you're about to discover could challenge everything you thought you knew about relationships. Sign 1. She guards her phone like a secret vault. A phone isn't just a device, it's a window into someone's life. And if she treats hers like a classified document, it could be a sign of something deeper. Does she always keep it within reach, never leaving it unattended even for a second? If you glance at her screen, does she immediately tilt it away or lock it? Does she react defensively or seem anxious when you ask a simple question about it? These behaviors aren't just quirks, they're patterns. If she constantly switches screens the moment you walk by, takes calls in private, or refuses to have her phone out around you, it raises the question, what is she hiding? Of course, privacy matters in any relationship. But when secrecy turns into obsession, it's no longer about personal space. It's about avoiding transparency. If passwords are stacked like fortresses and she refuses to share even minor details, it creates an emotional barrier. Trust isn't built on guesswork. It's built on consistency and open communication. If you notice these signs, it's time for an honest conversation before suspicion turns into certainty. Sign 2. Her priorities shift, and you're no longer in the picture. In a strong relationship, you don't just exist in each other's lives, you're woven into them. Plans are made together, decisions are discussed, and the future feels like a shared journey. But what happens when that changes? Suddenly, she's making plans without you. She's spending more time with friends, diving into new hobbies, or setting goals that no longer involve you. And the worst part? You feel it, but she doesn't acknowledge it. At first, it might seem harmless. After all, everyone deserves independence. But then, the distance grows. Big decisions, like moving to a new city, switching careers, or committing to something long-term, start happening without a single conversation. That's not independence. That's detachment. When someone truly sees you as part of their future, they naturally consider you in the choices they make. But if she's making moves as if she's already on her own, it's time to ask yourself, is she planning a future without you in it? The key isn't to assume, it's to observe. If you notice this shift, don't ignore it. Have the conversation before silence turns into separation. Sign 3. She keeps you out of her social circle, and it's not by accident. In a genuine relationship, meeting each other's friends isn't just a formality, it's a statement. It shows that you matter, that she wants you to be part of her world. But what if she avoids it? If she constantly makes excuses? They wouldn't understand. It's not the right time. They're just a different crowd. It's worth asking yourself, why? A delay here and there is normal. But if she consistently keeps you separate, it could mean one of two things. 1. She doesn't see the relationship as serious enough to merge both worlds. 2. She's hiding something, or someone. You might notice that she's always with her friends, yet you're never invited. That when they're around, she's guarded, vague, or even distant. It's a pattern that can leave you questioning where you truly stand. If she values you, she'll want her friends to know who you are. If she doesn't, she'll keep you on the outside looking in. Instead of ignoring this red flag, address it. Ask the real questions. Is she protecting the relationship? Or is she protecting herself from something she doesn't want you to see? Sign 4. She's surprisingly comfortable with physical intimacy. Right from the start. Confidence in intimacy isn't a red flag on its own. It can be exciting, natural, and even reassuring. But when someone is immediately at ease, initiating physical closeness without hesitation, it raises a question. Is this simply her nature? Or is it the result of past experiences? Does she take the lead effortlessly? Does she seem unfazed by new experiences, as if she's been through them before? Is she open to exploring without hesitation, showing a level of ease that feels uncommon for a new relationship? This isn't about judgment, it's about understanding the dynamic at play. Experience isn't inherently negative, but it does shape expectations, behaviors, and emotional connections. If physical closeness comes easily but emotional depth lags behind, it's worth asking, is this intimacy truly about you? Or is it just another moment in a long sequence? Rather than making assumptions, the key is open, honest dialogue. What does intimacy mean to her? Is it a sign of connection or simply comfort? Having that conversation with respect and sincerity can reveal whether you're building something deeper or simply sharing moments without meaning. Sign 5. She avoids talking about sexual health, and that's a red flag. In any serious relationship, open conversations about sexual health aren't just important, they're non-negotiable. They ensure trust, safety, and a deeper level of connection. But what if she avoids the topic altogether? Does she change the subject when you bring up contraception, STIs, or past experiences? Does she seem uncomfortable, dismissive, or even defensive? This hesitation can signal deeper issues, whether it's a reluctance to confront the past, a discomfort with transparency, or a disregard for the importance of these discussions. A relationship built on trust doesn't shy away from honesty. If she resists these conversations, ask yourself, is it just discomfort, or is there something she doesn't want to reveal? Approaching this with patience and respect is key. Instead of forcing the issue, create a space where openness feels safe. Let her know that discussing sexual health isn't about judgment. It's about mutual care, understanding, and making sure you're both on the same page. Because real intimacy isn't just physical, it's built on truth, trust, and complete transparency. Sign 6. Her stories don't add up, and that's no coincidence. When someone shares their past, you expect a certain level of consistency, details that remain the same, memories that feel real. But what if her stories keep shifting? One day, she recalls an event with confidence. The next time, the details have changed. People, places, even the emotions she described before. Conversations about past relationships or social experiences suddenly feel vague, scattered, or strangely inconsistent. Why does this happen? There are only a few explanations. She's hiding something, keeping certain aspects of her past deliberately unclear. She's uncomfortable with honesty, choosing to reshape events rather than confront them. She's fabricating details, intentionally or unintentionally crafting a narrative that fits how she wants to be perceived. But here's the truth. Honesty doesn't require effort. Lies do. If you notice constant contradictions, it's worth asking, is she being open with you or just telling you what she thinks you want to hear? The best way to handle this isn't through confrontation, but through clarity. Pay attention. Ask simple questions when things don't align. Let her know that truth matters more than perception, because in any real relationship, trust isn't built on perfect stories, it's built on real ones. Sign 7. She keeps you at an emotional distance and you can feel it. Physical intimacy can be effortless, but real connection, that requires emotional closeness. A deep relationship isn't just about time spent together. It's about trust, vulnerability, and the willingness to let someone in. So what happens when she never lets you in? She avoids deep conversations, deflects personal questions, changes the subject the moment things get too intimate. Not physically, but emotionally. No matter how much time you spend together, it still feels like she's holding something back. Why? She's been hurt before, and keeping her guard up feels safer than risking another heartbreak. She never learned emotional intimacy and doesn't know how to open up. She's not as invested in the relationship as you are, and keeping things surface level is intentional. This emotional barrier isn't just frustrating, it creates distance. The more you try to connect, the more she seems to pull away, leaving you feeling isolated in your own relationship. So how do you handle it? Not by force, but by trust. Emotional closeness isn't built overnight. It's built through patience, understanding, and creating a space where she feels safe enough to be vulnerable. But here's the real question. Is she holding back because she's afraid? Or because she doesn't see you as someone to open up to? Understanding the difference changes everything. Sign 8. She compares you to her exes, and it's never in your favor. A past relationship is just that, the past. But if she keeps bringing up her exes, it's clear that part of her is still living in it. Does she mention how her ex handled things better? Does she point out qualities you lack that he supposedly had? Does every disagreement come with a subtle reminder of how someone else did it differently? This isn't just frustrating, it's damaging. Constant comparisons make you feel like you're competing against a ghost, measured against someone else's standards instead of being valued for who you are. But here's the deeper issue. She may not have fully moved on. If she constantly references her ex, there's a chance her emotions are still tied to the past. She may be idealizing them. Sometimes people rewrite history, forgetting the flaws and only remembering what they miss. She may not truly appreciate what she has now, and that's a sign of an unbalanced relationship. The solution? Address it directly. Let her know that comparisons don't build relationships, they break them. A real connection isn't about measuring up to someone else. It's about being valued for who you are. And if she can't stop looking back, then maybe she's not ready to move forward. Sign 9. She's obsessed with her appearance, and it's more than just self-care. Caring about how you look is normal, but when appearance becomes an obsession, it's no longer just about confidence, it's about validation. Does she constantly check the mirror, seek endless compliments, seem more concerned with how others perceive her than with the actual substance of your relationship? This isn't just about self-care, it's about insecurity, a need for external approval, and possibly a past where her worth was measured by how she looked. If her energy is focused on being seen rather than being known, it can create an imbalance, leaving you feeling like you're just another audience member in her ongoing performance. Is she dressing up for herself? Or for attention? Does she crave reassurance because of past experiences? Is physical attraction the foundation of how she defines relationships? True confidence doesn't come from validation. It comes from self-worth. The key isn't to criticize her focus on appearance, but to encourage a mindset where she feels valued beyond her looks. Compliment her, yes, but remind her that what makes her truly attractive goes beyond the surface. Because real connection isn't built on how someone looks, it's built on who they are, on who. Sign 10. She's jealous and possessive, and it's slowly taking over. A little jealousy in a relationship? That's normal. But when it turns into control, suspicion, and constant questioning, it's no longer about love. It's about insecurity. Does she get upset when you spend time with friends? Does she react negatively even in casual interactions with other women? Does she question your loyalty, demand constant reassurance, or try to dictate who you can and can't be around? These aren't just emotions, they're patterns of control. And they often stem from something deeper, past betrayals that left her unable to fully trust, insecurities that make her feel threatened by any outside connection, a fear of abandonment that causes her to hold on too tightly. At first, it might seem like she just cares too much, but over time it can feel suffocating. A relationship built on love should never feel like a cage. So how do you handle it? Not with constant reassurance, but with boundaries. Let her know that trust is the foundation of any real relationship, and without it, everything else crumbles. Because true love isn't about control, it's about security, freedom, and the choice to trust without fear. Sign 11. She avoids talking about the future, and that speaks volumes. A committed relationship naturally moves forward. Plans are made, dreams are shared. The future feels like a journey you're building together. But what if every time you bring it up, she shuts it down? Does she change the subject? Give vague answers? Seem uneasy when you ask about long-term goals? A reluctance to discuss the future isn't just hesitation. It's a sign that she may not see you in it. What's holding her back? She's unsure about the relationship. She's not ready to commit. She's still emotionally tied to her past. Whatever the reason, silence speaks louder than words. If she avoids these conversations, it's time to ask yourself, are you investing in something that has no destination? The key isn't to pressure her, but to get clarity. A relationship without a shared vision is just time passing, and the longer you ignore it, the more time you risk wasting. These 11 powerful signs can reveal more than just past experiences. They expose the emotional patterns shaping your relationship. Recognizing them isn't about judgment, it's about understanding. If you've noticed these behaviors, don't ignore them. Have the tough conversations. Seek truth over comfort. Because real relationships thrive on openness, trust, and a willingness to grow together. If this video gave you insight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Your support helps us bring you more eye-opening content. Thank you for watching.